bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum bum bum. Bum 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 ba bum bum ba bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Hello everyone, this is Wildblade from Creative Media Vault in Yokohama, Japan. And this is me checking to see if I can actually do any live streaming right now on my game, Ryukage Run. Alright, so let's see, I'm checking the sound here, checking to see what you guys are seeing. Looks like my video is still a little bit off. Yeah, so doesn't look like I'm having too much success here, and I can't tell if you guys can actually hear me or not either. So go ahead and stop this here. Yeah, so that's kind of like the game that I'm working on this week. So now that was not an actual, that was an actual old video that I was just playing. So I'm gonna jump over here and open up my desktop here. All right. So this is kind of what we're looking at. So like I said, the previous project that what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be kind of updating this. So the previous project we were working on, I was giving you an introduction of what we're going to be doing with this old Ryukage Run game. Yeah, just letting you guys kind of know what we're going to be doing in the background with this. All right, there we go. Right. So, like, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking this game and we're going to be turning it into something a lot cooler. So instead of Ryoko just kind of running back and forth across the screen. So I really want to I've been wanting to upgrade this game for a while, but I just haven't gotten around to it. And so now that I'm kind of going through all of my old Unity games and updating them for Web 3, this is the perfect time for Ryoko to get an upgrade. So, I'm not gonna keep on playing this one too much because it's kind of loud. But yeah, this is the game that we are going to be working to upgrade over the next couple of weeks. So I've already kind of started that in a previous Unity project. But for those of you who don't know, I'm basically going through and I'm updating all of my games from my Creative MV website. So all of my games are basically connected to my book and my comics, which you can kind of find on Gumroad, and you can also find them on my website, which is still loading. And I've also got a Patreon page that you can where I'm actually exploring a lot of the lore and the stuff that's kind of behind all of the games that you'll find on my website and the games that we'll be building in Unity. So I've got websites, comics, novels, games, an online store where you can buy original merch based on all of these all of these original comics and games. I've even got some NFTs if you're into a Web3 and would like to kind of jump into that side. So yeah, that's kind of what we're going to be kind of playing around with. So our first target for all of the games that we're going to be upgrading will be Ryukage Run. And this is a game that is based on that first comic, which you can read more about on my itch.io page here. And this is the online store merch, which will probably also be updating. I've already started updating merch for this particular game and storyline on my online store. But first, we need to build a better game, and that is going to be kind of what we're going to be focusing on. So here's some of the new online store merch for that game that we're going to be working on. Yeah. But this game, as it stands right now, is pretty boring. So I'm gonna be working in Unity to change that. So we started kind of off on that last week when I started programming a few of the game mechanics for the new game. So right now, in this Ryoko just kind of runs back and forth. She doesn't really do anything. She doesn't have any weapons. She doesn't have any powers. She can't even jump. I mean, this girl is just breaking ankles. That's the whole thing that she's doing right now. So and this game is only one level, which is something else that we will kind of need to fix. So lots of work that will need to go into this. So I'm testing this stream right now on my 5G network. It's Sunday night in Japan. So I'm kind of testing this right now. I'm not sure how smooth the stream is going to be. Usually, like I am streaming from my PS4 or PS5, but I'm trying to get back into my game dev streaming now because there's a lot of stuff that I want to do with my meetup groups. I just attended a big indie game. Well, I just attended a pretty decent sized indie developer showcase yesterday in Tokyo, which is like yearly. It's called like a Tokyo Sandbox 2024. And so, yeah, there were a lot of good games presented there that are ready for a launch on Steam and Nintendo Switch and other platforms in Japan. So, what I want to start doing with my meetup groups that I own in Tokyo, is really want to start kind of pushing them more towards production now. I want the members of my meetup group and my Discord servers to actually start producing more games so that they can professionally present their works. And so that's kind of what I'm kind of kickstarting that off now by reinventing some of my old games. So like I said, you can stop by my Creative Envy website and see like the game that I have worked on, a lot of my current projects and stuff like that, and that'll give you an idea of what I'm kind of doing. So this is what we were doing like last week. So I was actually showing you some of the stuff that I've done to program a bit more functionality. This will be kind of what some of the new dynamics of the some of the new functionalities of the game. Yeah, so instead of just having Ryoko run back and forth, she'll actually be able to run upside down on objects and dodge stuff. And she will be able to jump. There's something wrong with my jump right now. I think I might have that deactivated, so I'll turn that back on. Because I have it set to where she can jump on certain things and cannot jump on certain things, right? So this is kind of what we're going to be working on this week. Not just like having her run back and forth, but actually getting her to do interesting stuff. What I am using to program this game is I'm actually using my own created sandbox, which is kind of what you can see right here. So this is, why do I always turn that damn thing on? Hold on, let me turn let me turn this part of the UI off. Um, so I'll turn this version control off, this version control text off. All right. So you can download this template if you would like, and you'll be able to I created it because I hate programming and I don't like doing the same thing over and over again. I just want to wanted to have something I could use out of the box. So this is one of my first game. Well, actually, no, that's a lie. That's not one of my first game templates because I've always hated programming. So I put a lot of different functionality in this already, like doors and stuff that can be opened and closed. Enemies that can attack you, pick up items and stuff like that. So we're going to be using this default little game template that already has enemies and coins and stuff, and we're going to be building our new Ryukage Run based off of that. The issue is that our Ryukage Run game is going to be an endless scroller, an endless side scroller, so an endless runner, and this is a more of a top-down shooter, top-down. I don't know what you call this thing, but anyway, it's a pretty cool game. So this is what the sandbox looks like. But I'll give you a quick look at. I haven't put any cutscenes in this yet. So let's see. Where is my? I'll give you a quick look at level 1. Yeah, go ahead and save because I already cut that text off. It looks like there might be something going down with my sound here. Give me a second. On my Twitch stream, so I'm not really sure if everybody can hear me or not. Give me a second. It says that this thing is connected, but yeah, sometimes I have to turn my Bluetooth off. Alright, continue. Alright, so let's see. I just need to make sure that people can actually hear me. What's going on here? I know I should have sound. Huh. Looks like I got no sound on my stream. Yeah, so anyway, this is I'll be troubleshooting my sound for a bit. Give me a second. Let me check my Twitch over here. See if I can hear anything. Sorry about that, guys. But to be fair, it looks like the stream is not so laggy tonight. I'm actually doing this on a pocket Wi-Fi, so. Okay, yeah, I can hear myself on when I cut this on here. So, all right, yeah, that looks good. All right, well, I guess I shall continue on my crappy iPhone. Oh no, my iPhone's not crappy. It's actually pretty good. Just don't understand why I'm not getting any sound out of this guy. Oh, I know why. Because I'm plugged into Streamlabs. All right, so when you're plugged into Streamlabs, I use my iPhone like for doing artwork and stuff. So when I'm plugged into Streamlabs, a lot of times it won't allow me to actually hear anything. Okay. So, anyways, like, yeah. So this back to what we're doing. This is like actually the game template that we're using. So this is a game template from my Spirits of the Lost Winds game. So the sandbox that we were just kind of playing in is so I built all of this based on the sandbox scene that we were just kind of playing in. So we're and like I said, right now this is a top-down game. So it's more like if you've ever played like the game Bastion, that's kind of what we're going for here. So what I was going for with this particular game. So let's see. This is like level one. This is not the this is right here is the sandbox build of the game, so it doesn't have like all of the UR like URP lighting or anything like that. If you want to see like like some screenshots of what the actual game looks like, you can check that on my website or on my itch.io page. Um, all right. All right, so this was like just sandbox like version. So basically, I can move around. I can pick up objects. I've got like some text in here. That doesn't include voiceover right now. So because it's a sandbox version, so I wanted people to put their own like stuff in here. All right, so got yeah. And then I've got enemies, like some default enemies that'll chase me around the screen and stuff like that. So, anyways, that's all of this game was built with this entire game was built is built with the pre-programmed code that I have in the sandbox. So, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be like forgetting all of that stuff, and we're going to be turning this top-down game using the same like code and the same functionality for the most part to turn this top-down game into an endless turn one of the levels of this top-down game into an endless runner like side scroller basically. All right, and so I've already kind of got that endless level set up, which is kind of what we're working on here. Right, and yeah, this is going to be our mission. So this is what we have so far. And I know some people are going to complain about my screen layout, but for some reason, like this one works better for me. So if you're a programmer, just work with whatever feels comfortable for you. Unless you're working in a team, then you might have to. But I'm not working in a team right now. I'm a solo developer. So here is where we are. And let's see, the last thing I implemented in this was so far most of my coding and stuff has been done on the player. So I've got like a temp player that I've got set up because this is still like a sandbox version. And what I'm doing is, if you'll notice, I have like a couple of scripts already attached to this. So I've got like the click to move is the default script that you were seeing from because that is for the top-down game. What I was doing last week is I was actually programming the endless runner script. And so like to give you, let's see, I already restarted this. So to give you a look at what the endless runner script would look like. Now, coding is not my forte. Actually, I don't really like coding like at all, but I do it out of necessity and stuff like that. So, like, for those of you who've watched my YouTube channel or like checked out my websites, or like are on my Discord server, you notice I kind of always talk about that. So, coding is not really something that I like to do, but I do it out of necessity. So, like when you look at my code, you'll notice, especially when I'm doing like a sandbox, I will like write a lot of junk code and I will actually leave it in there because like I'm not really when I write junk code a lot of times I'll have like a little like some other functionality that I might be intending to put into the actual code later. So what I'll do is I'll just comment once I find some code that works, I'll just use that and then I'll comment everything out until I have a full working script. So this is the script that we're looking at for the endless runner right now. So like basic C# script. So I've got my floats up here. I've got my booleans and my game objects, my transform. The transform is for being able to like check where the player's position is and check the ground. Like this is also like my rigid body because I am going to be using physics for jumping. My vector 2, default gravity. I put in a platform effector just for the sake of putting in a platform effector. So originally what I was going to set up is I was actually going to have it to where Ryoko could where instead of just having like a ground, Ryoko could run on could only like flip up and upside down on certain platforms, right? So basically it was gonna kind of look like this. So I'll go here. And this is just like a default little platform that I've kind of built. I'm gonna go ahead and move this guy up here. And let's go ahead and change the color to something a little bit more platformy, like that yellow is just so ugly. So I'll move it over to here, and then I'll scale it down a bit, just to let you guys know that this is like a platform. So originally I was going to just have this set as a platform. Alright, so where are you, platform? Alright, so I'm going to have this set as a platform. Just leave it on this layer. And basically, if you haven't used the platform effector, what it allows you to do is it allows you to basically like set a one-way platform or a double-sided platform. So a one-way platform is basically where you have a player that can maybe like you'll have a platform and then you want the player to be able to either jump up through it or maybe like if you press a certain button set the player can drop down below it, which is something that I use in my other games. So I was gonna have this totally responding completely dependent on using this platform effector 2D. Okay, it's taking a while to like start. Give it a second. So yeah, the issue is I'm running on a pocket Wi-Fi and I'm running through Streamlabs. So if my stream seems, that's why I can't stream League of Legends. So I basically had to get rid of League of Legends, get League of Legends off my computer. So all right. So actually I don't think I have her jump turned on. Nah, but like what can happen here is, oh, okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, that is totally weird. Oh, okay. Yeah, right now, okay, I see what's going down. Um, right now she's not, this thing right here is not set up properly because I turned off quite a bit of stuff for it because I decided I wasn't going to use that. Um, let's see, where is my box collider? I think I put my physics. Yeah, I put my physics here. My trigger body, alright. So it's trigger. Okay, used by effector. So effector is not turned on at the moment. So like when I turn on effector, used by effector, basically what that does is it will allow me to for this top object, it will allow me to determine whether I want this to be a one-way platform. And when I press one-way platform, you'll see that this thing right here pops up. So this is basically the area where the player will have like collisions, right? So for example, if the player object right here is actually below this platform, then when I press a certain button, she'll be able to like jump. If I'm down here, I should be able to jump through to this area, right? And also like I can change the surface arc, maybe switch it down to like, wait a minute, what were you before? If I switch it down to like maybe minus 180, then that should be right. Yeah, if I switch it down to minus 180, then like she'll be able to drop down from the top to the bottom. And I keep on saying she because this little dot that you see right here is going to eventually become Ryoko, the character that we were just looking at, right? So that's how you can set like a one-way platform. Yeah, so you can like just kind of do it any way you want. Or if I want to be able to do it like 360, which is kind of pointless, but you can actually do it like 360 to where like she can jump up and down on the top or the bottom. From the top into the platform from the top or the bottom. So basically, if the character is like just below there and you want them to be able to jump up, she can do that. Or if you like have a certain button sequence, like press down twice, she'll be able to drop down here. But like what I decided to do is I decided not to use that particular method for the ground of this game because I decided that I wanted her to be able to. It's an endless runner, so I don't just want her to be able to flip upside down on certain platforms. She needs to be able to like transition between top to bottom while running during through the whole screen, right? So because of that, we're not going to be totally relying on the platform effector for this. Instead, what I've done is I've programmed a basic script that will move the character up and down a certain amount of pixels on on the y-axis while she's running. And this is dependent on if she is in contact with the ground. So that's why, if you'll notice, I have like is grounded. So like Ryoko will be able to run. She will be able to jump. Right. In order to like execute a jump, we have to determine whether she's actually touching a ground or a platform. And the way that I have that set up in Unity is when you look at the player character here. So when you go to player.temp, all right, we got a couple of things like going on here. So this is the main like character body. If you look at this little square here, this is the ground checker that I'm using. And this is just like a temporary ground checker for now because like I'll probably like change it to a circle or something later. Because she will be running up and down hills and stuff like that. But right now this is the current ground checker. And this, in order for Ryoko to have the jumping ability, this square needs to be in contact with something that is like labeled as ground. So if I'll go here, you'll notice that my trigger body is layered like ground, right? So when I'm making an object, a lot of times what I'll do is because I'm very lazy with graphics. I want to be able to use the same graphics over and over and over again. So a lot of times what I will do with graphics is I will actually create an empty game object and then I'll put my graphics inside of like that empty game object in order to, that allows me to be able to like change the graphic if I want to or change the color, and I'll do this as a default before I turn it into a prefab. So this game will be run like mostly using prefabs, but when I'm like in the sandbox or building phase, I kind of like using this method because it gives me a lot of a lot of fluidity for being able to change one game object into a different game object, and add certain elements to it without having to go through the whole like rebuilding process over again, right? So if you'll notice, like this ground has a trigger body, and that tag is ground, and this layer is ground, and also this is set as a trigger. So as long as Ryoko's like box what is the ground checker box is in contact with this, then she should be able to jump. Now the jump is automatically been disabled when she flips upside down the platform because I kind of don't want her jumping to her death, um, which it took me a little bit of time to figure out. So in the code, we've got is grounded, and that's like for jumping and also making sure that she can like kind of move along the ground. Right now I have her set for this is horizontal input, like move horizontal. I'm going to wind up changing this because this is going to be in this runner game. So realistically, the player should not have to worry about actually moving the character with the keys, with the controls. Instead, we're going to have it parallax. So it's going to be complete. It's going to be parallaxing everything that'll be like parallaxing toward the player, flowing toward the player, including enemies like obstacles and stuff like that. So the player will not necessarily have to move. We will have like stuff like boost and like a jump. That will give her some additional movement, but for the actual like key, there shouldn't be any necessary like key input for moving the player back and forth. As a matter of fact, she should not even be able to move backwards. So that's something that we're gonna have to change. But right now, for like just for coding, I've kind of put this in here just as an easy start. Um, like we have this like so that's what this float horizontal input is for. So just to make sure that she can move like forward and backward on the x-axis, but we're probably gonna wind up nixing that very soon. After that, we have like this variable of can pass through. So this variable of can pass through is for these not that for where did my Unity go? Okay, yeah, can pass through is for these platforms right here. So I needed to set up a boolean to see like if a certain button is pressed, if she can actually go to the opposite side of this platform. So she'll be able to run on top and run on bottom, but she can only do that if can pass through is checked as true. Because like if she's already kind of passed through something, or like say there's another ground below her, like maybe a more solid object below her that I don't want her to be able to pass through, then I can that gives me the option to turn that off. So say for example, like this platform is like actually part of a more stable grounding object. So, like so say I've got like a did I just do that? Yeah, I just did that. Damn it. I should probably turn my UI off, but I'm not going to because I'm lazy. Okay. So, say for example, like I want this black part to be passable, but maybe I want to like actually put some real like ground-looking stuff here, like some actual like thick grass or something below it, just to show that she's not always running in the middle of the air. Well, I might do something like this and like take this ground and just kind of turn it green. All right, and that would be this would be a representative of some actual ground that she could run on. I'd set the order and layer back to like maybe 2 to where the black is on top of that. And then what I would do is instead of leaving this particular square, this square's trigger body as grounded, I would take that off and just set it to default. And also I'd set the tag to default because this would be like a static object and not going to do anything anyway. So this would basically just be a static graphic. That if I did feel the need later on to turn it into a trigger, turn it into like something that she could pass through, setting my objects up this way allows me to do that. Right. So I always make sure that I have the option to do different things with my game objects. So, so right now this is like a standard lump of grass that should not be passable for Ryoko. So that's why it like the code would not really affect this one. So if I because this would be set as something that is not passable, right? So right now this black rectangle would be set as something that is passable for her, so she would be able to flip upside down, but she would not be able to flip upside down if this is below her, basically. So that's kind of what that passable variable is for. What else do we have? Is upside down. That's another variable that I've put in here because like I don't want her if she's already upside down, if she's already running under the bottom of a platform, then I don't necessarily want her to be able to like hit the S button to go down again because either one that's going to drop her off the platform or let's see if I can demonstrate this. So basically, she should only be able to run hit the S button, the S or down button one time to flip upside down. After that, that button will be disabled until the player presses the W or the up button to put her on the top side of the platform. And after that, is upside down will be enabled again. So that will be kind of like the switch that will allow her to like run up on top and below the platform without dropping off the platform at the bottom. Hmm. Okay, so she can run, and then like I could press S one time, but if I press S again or down again, then nothing happens, and that's what that piece of code, this if is upside down, is for. So basically it's like checking. Okay, yeah, she's upside down, so you can't press that shit again until until you press the up button to put her right side up. All right, so that's a nice little boolean to have, so she can run upside down on both. Um, and also, like, if you'll notice, I do a lot of programming with Booleans, so you'll see like this number here, like player moved up by 200 units or whatever. But I like to make sure that my games are very like flexible, that my code is very flexible, and like uses as little mathematics as possible, actually, because I don't like dealing with mathematics, and that's one of the main things that trips up newcomers to the game, right? To like game development. So if you'll notice when you look at my endless render script here, I do have like a lot of like what is it, public variables, and I also use a lot of booleans in my coding that are basically just designed for like new people to be able to turn things on and off. Um, Without really getting too involved in the weeds or too deep in the weeds on mathematical calculations and stuff like that, because for a lot of new game programmers that is a huge turnoff, especially like if you're not really into math. So that's something else that I do. So right now, her upward movement and her downward movement is like set to 200. We can change this to like 500 or whatever if we have like certain amount of, if we want to like design our running levels like a little bit thicker or whatnot, thicker or thinner. But for right now in the beginning of this game, what I'm going to do is because I'm using like a simple coding like method, I'm going to leave this at 200 because that is going to be the standard width of most of these platforms that she can traverse, or most of the ground that she can traverse throughout the game. All right, and then we've got our physics gravity. So with our physics gravity, this game will be using gravity because Ryoko will be able to jump. Actually, let's see why she's not jumping right now. I do have a piece of code that should be allowing her to jump at the moment. Ah, that's right. So she wasn't jumping before, I think, because I didn't have a ground checker like put in here. Yeah. All right. So this is the endless jump code. Basically, like she should be able to jump a certain amount, but like her jump will only be limited to when she is running on top of like the ground or on top of a platform. She cannot jump when she is like running on the underside of something because, well, she would die, um, very quickly die. Um, I keep on hearing this noise. It sounds kind of like it's raining outside, but I keep on looking outside and it's dry. So I'm wondering what that's coming from. Right. All right, Ryoko, why are you not jumping? Okay, there she is down there. Okay, now she can jump. All right. Yay! So that's what this endless jump script is for. And actually, she can double jump too. I've set it to where like she'll have her jump, and then after like I've given her like a little bit of a cooldown period. I might actually put that as a public variable, but I've given her a little bit of a cooldown period to where she can't jump again. Um, so I think that's like I gave her like 1.5. If she jumps over there, she's gonna die because she's got nothing. And then I'm going to set up some places where like maybe she can jump here, but she cannot jump on an incline. So I've got like that in the works as well. But right now this is like a little basic jump script for her. So yeah, she's already got that functionality. So that's where this physics 2D gravity comes into play because we are going to be using gravity for the jump. For the top run and the bottom run, we aren't using physics for that. We're actually using just like player movement and checking to see if the player is in contact with ground. But for the jumping, we are using the ground checker object that is within like the player object to make sure that she's in contact with the top with the ground. And then when she jumps, physics will become a part of that. When she's running under the platform, let's see if I can go through this. So right now this is like a get key down. This is like the key down or the down arrow. When I press these, this will give her the ability to run upside down under a platform. Now what's going to happen here is as soon as I press this, it'll check the variable. Can move player down. That's another variable that I put up there, boolean basically. So she can move if she's running on top of the platform, then can move player down will be true. If she's when she flips upside down, then that will naturally set itself to false until like the W key is pressed again. So I have a function here like move player down. Can move player down. Once this S button is pressed, that automatically switches to false, and then can move player up is switched to true. So basically, you can't hit the S button again, and you have to hit until after you've hit the W button. Then on the input get key W, which will move her up, or the up arrow, it's kind of reversed. So, and that keeps things that's just a simple switcher for this. Let's take a look at the move player up function. So we're looking at our RB is kinematic. It's set to true. So we're using the rigid body as the kinematic right now. And the reason why we're doing that is because we need to be able to transition. If you try to use a static body, or which you shouldn't be doing for your game characters anyway, in this type of game, I think. But basically, if you set her rigid body to something like static, then when you try to pass through this when you try to pass through 200 pixels on the y-axis down, pass through this black ground, her physics body is going to just bump into that, and she's not going to be able to make it through. But if it's set to kinematic, then she can pass through this with no issues. So that's why rigid body is set to kinematic right now. However, we are going to be using a trick where we're temporarily turning that physics body off, right, and then turning it back on in certain areas. So we're going to be using a vector 3 new position, and this will be the set amount of distance that we're going to move the player up and down when the W button is pressed. Right now it is set for 200. Transform position, it's just basically a new position. Debug.log tells us how many units the player is moving up, in case we want to fiddle with that later, and also as a checker to make sure that the player is actually moving. Then after this is run, RB is kinematic is set to false. Now the reason I'm setting RB is kinematic set to false is because we only want to set this player body to kinematic when she's transitioning from up to down. If we leave it set as kinematic, it's gonna we're gonna have trouble with other physics. When it comes to bumping into objects, or even when it comes to taking damage or projectile hits. So what we're doing is we're setting that is kinematic to false once she has made it through this black part, the top or the bottom of the platform, and that will give her the ability to take hits or take damage or run into other physics objects. What else we got? Gravity scale. This is another important part of this top ground movement. So when she's running on the top ground, she will have the ability to jump. However, if she is running on top of the platform and there's no physics applied, when she jumps, she's just going to keep on going this way and right off the screen, right? So that's why physics will need to be applied. So basically the trick that I'm using is when she's running and she needs to pass through something, I'm quickly turning, giving her a kinematic body just to make it to the other side or the bottom side of this platform, and then the rigid body turns back on. And however, like when she's running upside down, she doesn't have the ability to jump, right? So physics is set to 0. Um, yeah, so physics is set to 0 on the way down. So that's what this. Sorry, the gravity scale is set to 0 when she's on the underside of this platform. But when you press W and she goes back to the top, well, I set the kinematic body is set back to default, and the gravity scale is also set back to 1. That way, when she jumps, she will fall back down again to the earth where she belongs, right? And that's basically like how I've got this script set up at the moment. So that's just a little bit of a rundown of what we've got so far, and we will be continuing to build this game for the rest of this week, actually. So I think probably the next thing I'm going to work on is let's see, the jumping I think is kind of okay. There is something I kind of want to implement on the jump to make sure that actually let me open up this endless jump script right here. All right, so rigid body can jump start. So I've got her jump set on a coroutine actually. So I put a normal standard jump like function here, but right now that's not the one I'm using because I want to have like a little bit of a delay for the double jump. So I did program a different type of double jump in there for her, but I felt the one like that would allow me to have like more a little bit more clear control over the timing between jumps would actually work better, and also like a little bit of a cooldown time after even after a double jump. So that's why I'm using an I enumerator right now. So we've got the add force that's just vector 2 up, which means that'll just like give her a pump up in the air like based on the y-axis, based on whatever the jump force number is. Can jump is set to false. So once she jumps, that will be set to false, because that'll be set to false for a certain amount of time. So the reason why it's set to false here is like we've got RB gravity scale that gives her time to like kind of fall. So this can jump set to false basically keeps the player from spamming the jump button and just like kind of flying off into space, like jump, 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 jump off the top of the screen. So like what I've done is I've set a little bit of a delay here. So we've got like a can jump will be set to false, and this allows the gravity scale to kick in, and it will allow her to fall for 1 second or whatever, like 1.5 seconds or whatever I decide to choose. Right now it's set for 1 second. Oh, sorry, this is the actual gravity scale. So this will give her gravity, normal 1 point gravity. And then this right here, this yield return new, this is the actual timer that basically dictates how long of a pause there will be before the player can hit the jump button again and effectively jump, right? So right now that is set for 1.25 like frames or a second or whatever, right? So that's the jump with delay. This one right here was the double jump, but I kind of figured out that I could actually do the double jump this way. So I'm thinking of what I want to do with this. I might like add a different style of double jump, so that's kind of why I'm leaving it in as junk code right now. Um, Now let's take a look at this. This is pretty basic, I think. So there's nothing like really too difficult in here. Just like the jump force, like rigid body, transform ground checker. Can jump is like set for true or false. Can move down. So this one's important. Like I said, I don't want her like running on the bottom of a platform and then deciding to jump. So like when the S button is pressed, this can move down is automatically set to false. Therefore like she cannot jump again, like like jump off the bottom of the screen. I will have I will program some stuff where she might be able to take a hit and fall off the screen. So like while we're doing the endless runner thing, if she happens to run into something, that will knock her off the platform, I might have her like have like her fall off the bottom of the screen, then maybe kick in some physics or whatnot. But right now I think like it's good enough just leaving her leaving it to where she can't really jump or fall off the bottom until we get further progress in the game. All right, hold on. My PS5 just like cut off because I haven't. Actually, I'm not even supposed to be doing this stream tonight. This stream is supposed to be one of the. This stream is supposed to be one of the morning streams. Yeah, so I'm not supposed to be doing this stream tonight. It's like one of the morning streams. I'm actually supposed to be playing like Street Fighter 6. So, but I just kind of wanted to test this stream to make sure that is working correctly. Because I had some trouble like trying to stream my game dev last time. But yeah, it seems to be working pretty well. And this is what I was talking about before. So like, what I tend to do is like when I'm like actually working on a code or working on a script or something, I will leave junk code in here until like I've got something that's really working. Because a lot of times like I'll implement some different stuff into like a previous iterations of the code that I find that works. But I mean, if I go through and I like overwrite everything, then I find like I'm like, ah, dude, I gotta rewrite that shit all over again, and I don't really want to do that. So like that's why I put like, oh, this is working code number one, and I'll just like comment it out and leave it there, and until and start working on the second part of like workable code until I have a script that actually works, and then after that I'll get rid of all the junk. Hmm. Yeah, but that's kind of what we're looking at for the jump script right now. So the rest, quite honestly, okay, theoretically, because I'm using a sandbox that I've already built that already has a lot of functionality into it, I shouldn't really. This game shouldn't really take me too much time to like program. At least for the functionality and the gameplay of it, because like I said, a lot of it is already built into the sandbox. So I've already got enemies and stuff like that. So if we take a look at this right here, you'll notice that I have a lot of stuff turned off on the scene. So I've got like music turned off, checkpoints turned off, and stuff. That's because they already exist in this scene. I just have not. I just don't have them turned on at the moment. So for example, a good one would be like maybe if I turn on enemies, right? Boom. So I just turned on this enemies. This is like pre-programmed from my Spirits of the Lost Winds game. So I've got my enemies turned on, and I have like a stalking enemy right here. So if I start playing this, and this whole scene in the sandbox is like fresh out of the box. So when you download this, you can download this template from my website, or actually you can download it from my Patreon. Just become a patron, and I just put a link for it there. So you'll notice that like we have this enemy here. And this enemy is not attacking me. Why? Stalking enemy. Baby, I've been losing sleep. Oh, that's because he's got like no speed. Alright, so as soon as I set the speed to 1, this enemy is gonna start coming after me. And then like it's gonna turn and it's gonna like automatically chase me. And then like depending on what I want to do with it, I can even like set it to right now I have this enemy set to where it can kind of rotate while it chases me, so I can like turn this rotation off. And you'll notice like when the enemy gets to the top of this hill, right now it's kind of facing at a 45-degree angle. But you'll notice like when the enemy gets to the top of this hill, the rotation doesn't rotate back to face me. That's because I turned that can rotate off. So let's turn it back on, and now it like turns to face me. God damn! And I forgot that kind of scared me. I forgot that I have it already set to attack. Okay, so this enemy is attacking me and basically kicking my butt. So now the reason why that is because I have this can melee attack turned on this enemy. So as soon as I turn this off, these are all booleans. So if you are new to programming and you don't know what to do, and like you're just like, well, like I want to program a game, you download this. This enemy is already in the box. So if you want an enemy that can melee attack, all you have to do is just go through the chasing enemy, like click on an enemy, go to the chasing enemy script, and you could say, okay, well, I want an enemy that can attack, and then like you'll turn this on. You'll turn on the attack speed, so how fast the enemy can attack. You'll turn on the time between attacks, so like like if you want the enemy to like constantly attack, you could just set this like 4 to 1. Um, so hold on. So boom, I've got like this attack speed. So I'll set this maybe to like 5 seconds, right? So now the enemy has to wait like 5 seconds before it can attack, right? 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then like maybe I want to switch that back. And then the time between attacks. Sorry, that was attack speed. Maybe the time between attacks, I'll set that to like something like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, yeah, it's slowly pushing me off the screen. Move. I don't have any health like associated with this player right now, so boom. Okay, and that right there is an issue because like right now this enemy doesn't have gravity applied to it. I'm not sure. I think because it's this program for a top down game. I think I have gravity switched off. Yeah. Oh, not gravity switched off. So let's check our physical body right here. Enemy's physical body. So this is like not set for trigger or anything like that. It is a box collider 2D. What do we have for rigid body? Oh, rigid body is yeah. So rigid body right now is dynamic. Okay, so that's why it just like went straight off the screen. All right. Oh, well, we're having an earthquake again. Yay. All right. Recently we've been having more earthquakes here, so I've got a couple. If you'll notice, like I've got a couple of rigid bodies like on this. So I've got the actual stalking enemy rigid body. So this will be like if I want to set this to like maybe a solid or like something that physics can interact with. If you'll notice, like this for this top form of it, it doesn't have a gravity scale. So that's why when Ryoko pushed back, when the player pushed back, the enemy just floated right off the screen because and did not drop down to this platform here. That is because like there's no gravity associated with this enemy right now, which is good for a top-down game. Like a lot of times you're not going to be using like gravity and physics for those a lot of times. So if I wanted this player, if this was a normal like site, well, I'll probably wind up turning. Actually, I'll go ahead and do that now. I'll probably go ahead and wind up turning gravity on. So I'll turn like gravity scale on for this particular enemy, and you'll see that usually when you'll see that when the game starts, like the enemy will drop down and chase the player automatically, and then if I push back, the enemy will like actually slide down the ramp. And that is already programmed into this like template, so you don't have to worry about that if you're a new game developer. And I'm actually kind of happy that this stream is going so well, like because I'm like I said, I'm running this through a pocket Wi-Fi, so. Alright, so now enemy should be here. Enemy, oh, yeah, like the enemy still doesn't have any associated speed at the moment. So, like, remember, like, before you start the game, basically, all of this stuff is already programmed in, but you still have to set the variables. Oh, she's still within attacking distance, so let me get the hell away from you. Alright, so. All right, so the reason like she could attack the enemy could attack me before is because I was in like a stopping distance of 2, right? So that's like basically two lengths of this square. Huh? And I need to get close. I just wanna get close to. Okay, yeah. So now I'm within the range, so like you can actually attack me. But you can set this to like much farther. If you want an enemy that like just shoots in for a quick like attack and then backs up to a corner or something like that, you can actually do that by increasing the stopping range. Right now, this enemy is not chasing me; it's being very passive because I haven't given it speed yet. So I'm gonna put like a speed on 5, boom, and then yeah, and it's gonna run right into me. All right. So now, as I start to move, like you notice that the enemy attacks and then it backs off, right? So that's another function that I put in here, to where the enemies will attack and then like back off. If I don't want them to like back off, then I will just decrease the stopping range to like 0. Right. But here we are. Yeah. So. But now that physics are applied, the enemy had like started to discover that it needs to go on a diet. It's like I was eating too many donuts. I can't make it up this hill. Come on, enemy! Come on, enemy! Okay, well I was trying to prove a point here, but now that physics are applied, yeah, I can actually push this enemy down, and like physics will like continue to make them go to the bottom of where they're at until like physics recover. Then they can start chasing me up the steep ass hill again. All right. So yeah. So we already have enemies that can do a lot of like stuff in here. So I've got let's see, is there anything else? I have like other stuff in here, so I might as well go ahead and explain the rest of this enemy script in this video since this stream is going so well. So when you open up the box, or when you download this template, and you go to the sandbox, like I said, all of this is already programmed into the sandbox. You'll go over to this section over here. You'll go to your hierarchy, and you'll see what you need in a scene. So if you need an enemy to test with, there are already multiple types of enemies in here. I've got flying enemies, blitz enemies. We're looking at the stalking enemy right now, which is a standard enemy that just kind of follows the player around and like attacks whenever they get a chance, right? So, like when we're looking at the stalking enemy, that is attached to a chasing enemy script, which I'm not going to go through and explain each script. Basically, if once you download the template, if you want to like check out the scripts and stuff like that, you can just open it up yourself. Unless there's something that we're going to need to change a lot of in this video. But when I'm making a template, I try to make it like for as many reuses as possible and as many games as possible. So theoretically speaking, you should be able to use this template to create any kind of demo game. And I stress demo game, right? This template is designed for prototyping, like quickly prototyping a game. So for example, like you can do a full game with this, but I put so many assets and so much code and stuff in this that it would be a little bit heavy. Now, if you're going to export out to like when you export from Unity, it only keeps the assets that it really needs in the scene, so you don't have to worry about it too much. It gets rid of a lot of the garbage. This is a boneyard build though, so I put like a lot of extra stuff in here, a lot of stuff that you may not necessarily need for a project, specifically for the purpose of like say you want to have maybe in your game you want to have different types of levels. So you might want to like an aerial shooter, and then like okay, yeah, this part of the aerial shooter because in the story should always be the focus of your game, but like in this part of the story, the player needs to traverse from this part to this part, and like they'll be flying in the air. But after they get to a certain destination, then it needs to turn into like a stealth or like a top-down shooter or an endless runner. So I programmed all of that functionality into this template already. So like that's why like, that's what you'll find out of the box. So when you're looking at this chasing enemy script can be used for like flying enemies, like shooting enemies, melee enemies, and stuff like that already. So you got like your basic stuff like the speed, that's the movement speed, the stopping distance. Can the enemy rotate up and down to like face the player? The health, like the damage that the enemy does. That can be like physical damage when attacking, or also like we have some settings for like if they're shooting at you. It's dead. Like if this enemy has died. Let's see, can splatter. That's a good one. So I do have like splatter effects in here. I don't have anything to attack this enemy with yet, but I like to put like juice in my games. So like as a default, I've already programmed in a boolean to where like I can have it to where if this enemy is flying in the air and the player shoots it, then it might blow up. But and it might when it blows up, you don't necessarily want to have like a splotch of like blood, like just kind of randomly floating in the air. So what I've done is like I've put this can splatter. So like if you have ground-based enemies and they get killed, it'll actually like they'll actually blow up and you'll like see the leftover like as a splatter on the screen. So that's actually pretty cool. Or you can like turn it off. Okay, this is an airborne enemy. I don't want like random paint shit just floating up in the air. So you can turn this off. This is where you can like choose your splatter effects, which are prefabs that I've kind of put some default prefab that I put in here, or you can make your own. So, for example, I might have this like enemy blood effect here. And where is my library? Oh, I drag that down here. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go ahead and like drag it down here so that we can see what it kind of looks like. All right. So, what was I looking at? Enemy blood green. Where's my shit? I haven't been in Unity for a while, so now I kind of forgot what I want my layout to look like. Come on, come on. Are you over here? Object mode. I forgot what I want my thing to look like. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, you would see like a graphic of this somewhere. So yeah, I'll like reset that up. I have it set up on a different one anyway. So yeah, but anyway, that would be like where you can like select your prefabs for what you want to use for like enemy splatter or enemy death effect, that kind of thing. Can melee attack? We've already kind of gone through this. This will allow the enemy to attack, to like a sprint, jump in, and like kind of punch the player and then back out. At a certain distance, based on a certain timing, and based on a certain speed, so how fast they attack and then return. Time between shots. This is for can shoot. So the current enemy here does not have a shooting weapon attached to it. I do not believe. Actually, do you have a shooting weapon attached to you? Give me a second. And I am so happy that this stream is going so well at the moment. Alright. Alright, cool. So we got this guy. And I'm running away. Oh, okay, so this enemy is not shooting at me. Why are you not shooting at me? So... Oh, alright, so the reason why this enemy is not shooting at me is because right now I have the shot time between the time between shots and the start time between shots set to like a stupidly high number. So I'm going to set this to 5, and then I'm going to set this to 5. Alright. Okay, so now the enemy can actually shoot at me. So even if I'm out of range, this enemy can attack me. And like I said, this is like fresh out of the box. So, boom. Alright, and the enemy has killed me. Right. So that's what I like about like programming my game this way. So like if I start a new project and I'm just like, oh, I want this default enemy, I can just like go through and see what I've got in my options list for this chasing enemy. Okay. So I've got like maybe this enemy can shoot, but this enemy cannot melee attack. If it's like a distant enemy, a far enemy, or something like that. Or maybe this enemy can melee attack, but the enemy just simply cannot shoot. So I can like trigger all of these on and off by just flipping a boolean, and that's what I love about it because it keeps me from having to program complex shit. All right. After this will be like the shot point. So the shot point that we're going to be looking at is going to be basically where the like shot generates from the enemy, and that's going to be this like this diamond, this gray diamond here. So that's the shot point. What else do we have? Projectile. So this allows me to like select the projectile, the type of projectile that I want the enemy to fire. So you'll know I've got like enemy. This is my default enemy projectile 1 temp, right? And it's just this little red dot that already has some like damage effects and stuff already applied to it. So this actually has a code applied to it. So basically I can choose the speed. I can choose the speed of the projectile, how fast it moves, the lifetime, how long it stays on the screen, the damage that it does. So like this one is like a default, so it's low and it's set for 2. The sound of the object is basically like when it explodes. Homing target. Now, that one I might explain a little bit later, but in my Spirits of the Lost Winds game, like Kuramiya, the fox, she has an ability to fire like spirit kunai, like the spirit knives, and some of her enemies, those spirit knives can kind of home in on. So they blast out like this, and then when you hit the C button, they will home in on an enemy or a boss, which is actually pretty cool, right? So what I've done is I've set this is homing. Is this a homing projectile? And if it is a homing projectile and you have a homing target on a certain enemy, like for example a boss, you can set this to is homing, and this will say, okay, yeah, this is a when the C button is pressed, I'll actually look for enemies that have a homing beacon and attack them randomly, or if it's a single enemy, just attack that enemy. The rotation speed is because this is like associated with the homing. So when you shoot a homing projectile, basically like you have to rotate the the weapons or the kunai in the right direction. And so basically you can decide how fast they rotate and like how fast they'll curve in and attack. So right now that's set for 2, and then like a destroy effect for this right would be like after the projectile has impacted the enemy, like what does it do? Which basically it's just set to like show a particle and then like destroy itself, right? So that's what you're getting with like a stalking enemy, and like I said, this is like just one of the default enemies that you'll find in the box. Yeah. So yeah. So like I said, when you download this kit, I recommend just like going through all of these sections, like open it. Don't even like really work. Don't even really worry about trying to do too much with building the game first. Just try to familiarize yourself with the sandbox. The sandbox will give you a lot of functionality without you having to look at the script. So what you're looking for, is you're looking for booleans. You're looking for like boolean usage and stuff like that. And it looks like my stream may have just stopped. I don't know why, but because it said that I'm still online. Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of what you're looking for. When you download this, like, just go through it. Go through before you start like working on your default game. Go through the hierarchy. Check out the player. Check out the enemy sections and other stuff like this. So I'm gonna turn this enemy off again because, well, basically I don't need them. I've got spawners. I've got all kinds of stuff. So yeah, miscellaneous items, all kinds of stuff. So you can check out all of this, see what you can. I want you to see what you can automatically start building with, and then like anything extra that you need, you could like start adding on from there. So for example, in the player temp, like I have my default player. Before, like I said, I was running basically on this click to move script, which is a completely different movement script, right? So I've just before I started, I'm leaving this one in here, but I'm actually starting to build my endless runner script, which is the one that we're going to be using for Ryukage Run. So I just turned this one off and then I cut this one on, and like this will allow me to continue to like build a newer player script. And then once I have all of the movement controls and everything done, and I'm pretty sure that I don't need this one anymore, I can just like get rid of it. Right. So that's how you use my template, and that's how we're going to be building this Ryukage Run game with a lot more functionality into it. So I hope that you'll like this stream. I'm getting ready to jump off now and actually do what I'm supposed to be doing tonight, which is playing Street Fighter. But I hope that you like the stream. I'm gonna try to stream more regularly. It looks like streaming at night is working pretty well. When I was trying to stream during the daytime, I just wasn't having like so much luck with it. So I think maybe originally like my idea was to like do like educational streaming during the day and then like more game fun streaming at night. So I might try to like implement that this week and like see how well that it works between my working hours. But yeah, that's what we're looking at right now. And like if you like the stream, like subscribe. Check out my Patreon and my other socials because I will be doing a lot on here in the upcoming day because I need to update all of my games and stuff anyway. And I will catch you all again in the next stream, which actually will take place at about maybe 5 or 10 minutes because I will be playing Street Fighter 6 tonight on Twitch. So everyone have a good one, and I will see you all again soon. Bye for now. Well, actually, there was something I wanted to check, but I might leave that for later. All right.